Hi everybody and welcome to a new live tutorial with Photo TV NYC. I am Giselle Behrens and today we will be learning how to transform a beautiful portrait into an awesome black and white right on your phone using Snapseed app, which is completely free. Thank you to Google. You can download it for iPhone or for Android, and you can also download the same photo below on our link. So the main objectives of today's tutorial is, number one, we're going to brighten up the photo. Number two, in the photo within our subject, we are going to locate our focal point, and the focal point is going to be the most important area of the photo where we want our viewers to go directly to that area first when they see the photo. That way we make an impact when we share the photo. And lastly, we're going to make our subject pop out with different adjustments that we are going to be doing to the photo. Again, if you want to download the same photo, thank you to UNSPLASH. They provide free images for everybody. And thanks so much to the photographer also who provided this photo. You can subscribe, you can download the photo below in the description, as well as the App Snapseed app. Both links are there. Please do remember to subscribe. This way you can follow many other tutorials to help you become a better photographer and a better visual storyteller. So let's start. Over here, I have my photo. Over here, I have my cell phone. And on my cell phone, we are going to be seeing the actual screen that I have on my phone. So this is my actual screen that I have on my phone, and it's live over here. You guys can see all of the adjustments that I am doing. So the first thing that I want to do when you already have your Snapseed app open and you have downloaded the photo or use one of your own, you just have to tap on the plus sign. And when you tap on the plus sign, we're going to locate our photo. And today's photo is this one. So we're going to take a look at it, we're going to feel it out. I feel that it's an amazing photo, but we want to transform it for purposes of this tutorial into black and white. So what we want to do, first of all, is brighten up the image because we do want her to ultimately pop out and create a focal point where our spectators and our viewers are going to take a look at this photo. So I want to analyze the photo right now and say what really calls my attention on this photo are her eyes and her huge eyelashes. So over here, we're going to call this our main focal point. And we're going to brighten up the image right now by pressing Tools. So go ahead, go to Tools, and locate Tune Image. In Tune Image, with your thumb pressed on the screen, you can press up and down and just scroll, and this pop-up menu is going to appear. So the first thing we want to do is brightness, because we want to brighten up the photo just a little bit, because the whites are a little bit gray. So when we are working on black and white, and in this portrait, the aesthetics that we're looking for this tutorial is to make her pop out. We're going to make our highlights very bright and our shadows darker to create that contrast. And this is how we're going to make her come out of the photo and add some dimension to it. So I'm going to add my brightness first, and I'm going to leave it at 33. You can see the adjustments that we're doing right here. Look at the screen. We have brightness plus 33 and the blue bar starts to fill up. So now we're going to go down to our menu and we're going to add contrast. So contrast is going to help us make those blacks blacker and those highlights brighter. And I'm going to leave it in plus 45. Anytime when you are on this tutorial, you can check out, or even on the app when you're playing around with it, you can check out the before and after of the photo that we've been working on. It's always good to see where we came from and what's the original photo look like. So you can see that just by those two edits, already the photo is starting to become more dimensional, more vivid, and we're bringing more attention to the eyes. So now we're going to go down to shadows and inner shadows, because we do want to add contrast and darken our shadows. With our thumb, we're going to drag our thumb to the left so we can make a negative adjustment. We don't want them to go too dark because or else we lose all of the information on our shadows. So I'm going to take it to -20. So our shadows, I'm leaving them on -20. Now I'm going to press our check mark down on the right and continue. So now that we have the general adjustments done, we brightened her up and we added some contrast, we're going to go back to Tools and please locate the one that is called Black and White. So now we're going to visualize how the image looks black and white. If we take a look at her face, we can see that her face has a lot of midtones and it's very gray, so it's very flat. So we want to continue to add darkness on her lashes and on her eyebrows, as well as brighten up the highlights that she has right here on her nose and on her cheeks. This way, it's going to play a nice game between the dark eyelashes and the bright cheeks and the bright nose. So we're going to press our check mark. Now that we're happy with the black and white, we're not going to apply any filters. We're going to do everything with our controls. So we're going to go back to Tools and locate the one that is called Selective over here. I'll put this one. So on Selective, just tap on that, and with your finger you're going to leave it pressed on her face, and you're going to see that a small red cross pops up. So this small red cross, you're going to look for the highlights on her cheek, which is right here, and we're going to leave it right on the highlight. What we're going to do is that we're going to brighten up the highlights of her face. So with your finger and making sure that the dot has a B on it of brightness, we're going to augment the brightness on her face. We don't want to go too high because then we start losing all of the information on our highlights. So I'm going to leave it at +45. And if you want to see where the mask is adjusting and affecting the image, with your two fingers, as same as if you were doing a zoom, you just pinch on the image and you can make it smaller or larger. And I'm just going to leave it as is. We're going to check the before and after on the top right icon, and you can see how her face starts becoming from gray and a little bit flat to more vibrant and more dimensional. So I'm going to press check. Now we're going to do one more adjustment for the tune image. I'm going to go again to my tune image and we're going to look for the brightness. We're going to add brightness now that we have it black and white. We want to make sure that her skin looks very, very much alive and coming forward outside of the photo. So I'm going to leave it in +17. Go again to our contrasts, just to make sure that our main focal point that we have selected, which are her eyelashes, really do pop out between the bright skin and the dark of her eyelashes. And I'm going to press my check mark because we're good here. And for the last adjustment, I want you to go to Tools and we're going to go to Details. So please locate Details right there on your screen. So I usually don't use details when I'm on a portrait. However, because details is a way to sharpen your image, in this particular photo, my main focus are my eyelashes, so I really want to sharpen up all of the eyelashes and make individual hairs for each eyelash. And this way, it's going to pop out of the image and really become the focal point. So with our thumb, we're going to leave pressed on the screen just to pop up our menu. We're going to start with structure. And I zoomed in the photo just to make sure that I can appreciate the eyelashes that we want to emphasize. I'm adding structure. structure, again, is going to just give you that sharpness. I'm leaving it in plus 40. Now I'm going down to sharpening to continue sharpening, and I'm leaving it in plus 9. So I'm going to zoom out to see the before. You can see how much softer the image is, and the after. All of the details really become starting to pop out. Even this detail on the photo really starts popping out. All of her factions just start playing out, and we can appreciate the play between positive and negative space, which is what you want when you're doing black and white. So we're going to press our check mark, and now for the final touch, we're going to look for the crop adjustment, and we're going to select it. We want to give her a tight feel because we want to keep our spectator's eye within the portrait. So on original, we're going to leave original here in bright blue, and if it's not in bright blue, please tap on it just to activate it. What this is going to do is that we're going to keep our proportions when we're cropping in. I want to make sure that her eyelashes are as close as possible to the 2/3 grid, right there, and that I'm not cropping out the left part of the image, her shoulder, okay? Because that shoulder gives me a positive and negative space between the background and her, which makes her pop out. So anytime when you are on your main window, you just want to tap to check out the before. Just leave your thumb pressed when you do tap, and then remove it, and you can see how the before, from this really cool colored image, we have this amazing black and white photo, which she really stands out in. So once we're done, we're going to hit export. You can save a copy on your phone, which is what I'm going to do, or you can share it directly. And over here on your screen, you have the recap of what we have learned. We learned that in black and white, it's so important to play with positive and negative spaces, which means whatever's white and whatever's black, we added contrast. So that's our second point that we learned. We added contrast to emphasize the darks of the image as well as the highlights of the image, and eliminated as much as we could the gray areas that make an image flat. And we did some selective adjustments on the app, which helped us enhance our main focal point, which were our eyelashes, as well as tightened up that crop. So if you did like this tutorial and you want to subscribe to learn more on how to make your photos awesome, please do hit that subscribe button and like that video. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you today at 3 p.m. in Spanish and tomorrow at 12 p.m. live, as we have live tutorials every day directly from New York City. Bye everybody, keep on taking photos!